Welcome to issue 5 of Motovision, the video magazine. In this month's issue we travel to San Marino for round 9 of the 125cc World Championship. We then go to Ireland and the open class where Smets and Parker battle it out for the championship lead. The 125s return in France, where Sebastian Tortelli pleases the home crowd with a superb performance. Parker bounces back to form in Germany, where he retakes the championship lead with a double heat win. Venezuela is next, where Voland, Barra, Bavorts and Nickel decide to give their all in a bid to close down Eberts in the championship hunt. We stay with the 250s, but this time to Poland, where Eberts loses more points to Bavorts. Indonesia is last in this month's issue, where Tortelli takes the first double heat win of his career, and Chiodi takes the championship lead.
Round 9 then of the World 125cc World Motocross Championship comes here to San Marino. Temperatures in the hundreds, very, very hot. Here the 16-year-old Frenchman Roncada beginning to top up on fluids before the start of Moto 1. Alexandro Pouzar with his hand there strapped to prevent blistering. A cool bottle of water applied to the back of his neck. Small crowd here nevertheless turned out to enjoy some great motocross racing. Frederick Vial, number 7, settles in on the grid. 43 there, that's the British rider Paul Malin. Green flag up, the spectators. As we say, only a small amount, around 3,000. Jimmy Button with a towel around his neck, trying to get rid of some of that sweat. Goggles beginning to steam up on the line. Button gets rid of the towel as they come under starters' orders. The 15-second board, 5 seconds spins around. The gate will drop, and it does. Who's it going to be that gets the whole shot? And it looks very much like number 30, the Italian Eric Camolengo, as they sort themselves out, and indeed it is. Camolengo then that leads, and that's Paul Malin in second position. Good start for the British rider. Camolengo chased by Malin on the opening lap. 15, Federici behind him, then Chiodi, then Vial, and that was the young Frenchman, the 16-year-old Roncada behind that group. Button going through. And it's Malin that now leads. Paul Malin taken the head of this one. Camolengo dropping back into the clutches of number 2, Chiodi. Dusty conditions, as you can see. Need to get out in front to be able to see exactly where you're going. 61, well, that's Pouzar. The current championship leader hasn't got a good start in this first moto. He's going to have to work hard, and in these conditions, that isn't going to be easy. And a change at the front yet again, because it's Federici that goes into the lead. Tortelli is there with him, so is Chiodi, so it's all changing at the front. The heat obviously beginning to take its toll on some of the riders in these early stages. 12 just gone through Mascio. They are challenging for positions, but where we ask is Pouzar. And the answer is there. He is working for this one. Leads the championship, needs to add to those points to be assured of taking it through. And a change at the front. The young French star, Tortelli, Sebastian Tortelli, has taken the head. There's Paul Malin backing around 5th. So the conditions of the circuit obviously a little treacherous. People coming to grief, slipping off the machines. You can see, by the way, the backs of the bikes slide around in this hard-packed circuit. There is Button. Number 8, Marino Del Argo, right with him. So there's a battle on between those two. Out front, we've got the young Frenchman, 25, Sebastian Tortelli. Now being chased by this young man, number 15, that's Claudio Federici. Paul Malin chasing through there with Chiodi behind him. So we've got a British rider. There's Camolengo and Vial, as I said, a British rider in amongst a group of Frenchmen and Italians. No doubt the locals are enjoying this immensely. Federici, it is, number 15, has certainly got the makings of this circuit at the moment. Very hard, quite slippery. There's Malin with Chiodi behind him. It looks like Chiodi's going for the pass on the inside. Yes. Well, he sticks that one on Paul Malin to the delight of the crowd that watch on. Tortelli it is. At the moment, unchallenged by this man in second place, Federici. It should now be number 2, Chiodi, and it is in third. We look back for fourth place. It was the Brit, Paul Malin, but it's Tortelli that leads. Another rising star from the French ranks of motocross. The Italian Federici chases, followed by the second Italian Chiodi in third spot. Then the Brit Paul Malin. This is a good result for him. The winner of the British Motocross Grand Prix. 59, Michele Fanton. Camolengo there behind him. Out goes the pit board for number 10. That's the Italian Bartolini. Then Mascio, the Frenchman, number 12. They're beginning to group up a little bit. 8, Del Argo. Oh, very nearly off the track, Del Argo. That just gives you an example of how slippery the circuit is. 71, the American Jimmy Button. 61, Pouzard. Well, he's making progress through the pack, but it's not easy for him. Extremely hot here today, in the hundreds. These riders will be suffering with dehydration quite severely. The leader, still the Frenchman, Tortelli. We're looking back for number 15, and it's Chiodi that comes through first. So we've lost Federici, or has Chiodi got past him? Let's look back. Well, here he is, so he's obviously been off the bike somewhere. As you saw by the mistake that Del Argo made, it's very easy to get the back end lost and away from you. 43, Paul Malin. Camolengo, then chased by Bartolini. There's Vial just gone through. 18-9, that's Colin Dugmore, the South African. Number 12 in your picture, Mascio. But it is this young man that looks to be taking the checkered flag. Number 25, the French youngster, Sebastian Tortelli. Chiodi then comes home second. We're looking back for third. It should be Federici, and it is number 15. Fourth then for the Brit, Paul Malin. Well, with race 1 under their belts, they're now beginning to eye up the start for Moto 2. There you see Tortelli deciding which start gate's going to be his. We wait now for the gate to drop for Heat 2 of this 125 San Marino Grand Prix. They're creeping, gate goes, here they come, who's it going to be? Suffering badly from that first heat as far as dehydration was concerned, but they've topped up with their water. And let's hope that they can make it through the second moto. Who is it that's taken the lead? It looks like Camolengo again. Well, he certainly has got a very quick bike. Whoa, look at Pouzard. I think Chiodi was thinking of a block pass, and Pouzard had other ideas. He went out of that corner like an absolute rocket ship. And Pouzard second, chasing Camolengo for the lead. Didn't get a good finish in Heat 1, did Pouzard. Looking to make up for it in Heat 2. That's Chiodi in third. So Camolengo, Pouzard, Chiodi. Pouzard and Chiodi, the two men that are chasing for the championship title at the moment. Puzar leads the championship. Chiodi's second, and Chiodi scoring points, better points from Heat 1. As the rest of the pack thin out through the dust, it's still Camerlengo down the hill. Puzar looking for a way round. Treacherous conditions, and look at Chiodi. Whoa, Chiodi's having none of this, and the crowd love it. You can hear them cheering. Chico Chiodi goes to second. Puzar then comes around the outside looking to take it back. We have a battle on our hands here at the moment at the front between the top four. It's Camerlengo, Chiodi, Puzar and DeLargo, number 8. And then it's 12, which is Mascio, and 10 there, Bartolini, caught up in the top 6. 4, Strivus, and not a good start for him. You can see the track conditions, slippery, dusty, and someone's on the run here, so what's going on at the front? It is Chiodi then. Chiodi, Camerlengo, and Puzar third. Then DeLargo fourth. It's hot at the front. Then it's Mascio fifth. They really are putting everything into this one. 43. There's Paul Malin with Tortelli on the inside of him, the winner of Heat 1. It's hot and it's fast, but it's Chiodi that leads. Beginning to pull a gap on second place man, Eric Camerlengo. There's Corrado Mardi telling DeLargo to drop back and let Puzar go through, because those two are sort of kind of teammates, and the team orders seem to apply. It's Chiodi then that leads. No team orders there as far as he's concerned. And there is Puzar. He's still behind DeLargo, and he's got Mascio there behind him, so it certainly isn't all over at the front. Paul Malin, 43. Then 25, Sebastian Tortelli behind the Englishman. It is hot and it is furious. Federici, 15, finished third in the first heat behind this man, Chiodi. But Chiodi it is that's decided he wants to stay at the front, to the delight of the local crowd. Not a big number turned out to watch this Grand Prix, but nevertheless they've come to support Chiodi, that's for sure. And the battle certainly still is on for second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. It is still Camerlengo there in second place, refusing to give way to the riders behind him. And I think we've seen a change. I think maybe that's either Puzar. Yes, it is. Puzar then's gone up a place. He's into second. But very nearly off the bike when he came down over that jump. The back end lifted out. We thought he was gone. Well, it's all happening here in San Marino at the moment at this 125 Grand Prix. This man is out in front. Chico Chiodi leads, second in the championship, first in the second heat here in San Marino. Out of the dust they come. Well, just look at them. They look at each other and say, well, Puzar gets past them by number 10, Bartolini. And Bartolini looks at him as if to say, hey, I'm going through. Well, what will Puzar have to say about that? Well, Puzar's now got Mascio right on his tail, so he's in for a battle before the end of this race. Chiodi leads, unaware of the action that's unfolding behind him at the moment. Able to pick his lines, not having to swallow the dust from anyone else. This looks like the battle of a second. It looks like DeLargo, and then it is number 10, Bartolini. Well, we've got one unfolding here. Puzar has got Fanton now in front of him. So I don't know what's wrong with Puzar. He seems to be dropping back just a little bit. But Chiodi tentatively wakes his way around that corner. The circuit conditions, the surface is so slippery. 12, Mascio. Tortelli behind him. Then 59, Fanton. Look at the dust as Puzar comes through it. We're peering through the dust clouds to see who comes through next. And that is DeLargo, featured quite heavily in the opening part of the race. Federici beginning to close on him. Chiodi, well, look at this. He's certainly got the measure at the moment of this San Marino circuit. Gingerly picks his way around the corners, hoists it up over the big jumps. He's in no danger at all. Well, look at that for some aerobatics, because Tortelli has carved his way through the field to second. And 59 there, that's Fanton in third. There's Puzar, has now got number 10 Bartolini, the Italian, behind him. It really is not over yet, that's for sure. But it may be for this man because he's got a healthy lead, can afford to pick his way cautiously around the track. Chiodi then, number 2, leads Heat 2 here in San Marino. Totelli, the young 16-year-old Frenchman, in second place. Behind Totelli, it is 59, once again Fanton, another Italian. Then it's Puzar, 61, the current championship leader. 12 goes through Mascio. 1 lap to go, saith the board. These riders must be beginning to suffer with dehydration now. It is so hot. Here's Chiodi then. He completes the 1 lap, does a victory wheelie for the crowd and takes the checkered flag. Looking back for second, 25 it is. Won the first one. Second in the second one, that's Tortelli, number 25. Fanton brought home third. Bartolini was fourth. So Chiodi closes the gap on Puzar as we go to round 10 in France.
Yamaha's Alessio Chiodi has dominated the last 2 rounds of the World 125cc Championship. Chiodi is lying second and closing down on the leader Alessandro Puzar. The 96 bikes are available soon and already they're getting great reports from the press worldwide. Yamaha, the power to satisfy.
Ballykelly here in Northern Ireland for round 8 of the World Open Class Motocross Championship. Number 3 here, Joel Smets on the Husaberg. And Trampas Parker, number 99 on his back. Parker on the 360 KTM. And we're wondering whether Parker's going to suffer with just a little lack of power here in Ireland today. Smets it was then, quickest in official time training on Saturday. Came down onto the line with number 4, Gert-Jan van Doorn, right behind him. 11, Daryl King drops into his blocks, but there is Parker. Still trying to hoist himself to the top of this championship. To be the first man, well not the first, actually the second man in motocross history to win all 3 categories. Jackie Martin's number 2 as the green flag goes up to the starters on the gate. Any moment now it'll drop, and it does. Here they come. Heat 1 gets underway. It's a tight left-hander. A lot of watering done on that start straight. We've got somebody down. Can't see who it is, but nevertheless, it looks like Johan Boonen, teammate to Jackie Martins on the big Husqvarna, that's taken the lead. John van der Berg, Smets behind him, then Martins. 4, Van Doorn going through. 9, that's Peter Dirks. Not a big crowd here in Ireland to enjoy this open class race in a mixture of 500cc 2-strokes and 610cc 4-strokes and 360cc KTMs. It's a real mixture of power and capacity as Smets tries to get past John van der Berg, number 44. There's Johansson, Peter Johansson, 95. And Parker didn't get a good start. Going to suffer a little bit in these sandy conditions with only the 360cc of power against the big 500s and 610 4-strokes. But it's a 4-stroke that leads. 15 it is then. Johan Boonen, who has the gate at the moment. Parker charges, fights his way back. He needs every ounce of power to catch this man. There he is, 15, Johan Boonen leading at the moment. John van der Berg, 44 second. Smets, third. Then Jackie Martins, number 2, fourth. Behind Martins, it's number 95, Peter Johansson. The rest of the field battle for those places. Van Dorn 4 going through, and Parker beginning to close on those two in front. Look at Parker. Jumps the KTM through that triple section. But in the lead, it's still 15. Schmetz sits back on the Husselberg in second place. Just biding his time at the moment. As you can see, a marked lack of spectators around the circuit. It's a shame. The Irish club done a wonderful job on the circuit here. Weather conditions excellent. You couldn't really ask for anything more. But it just seems that the Irish are not turning out en masse to watch the racing. But nevertheless, those that are here are enjoying what they're seeing. Over the jumps they power the big machines. 4 just going through again. Van Dorn, we're looking back, we've got a retirement. Number 9 just gone through there, that was Peter Dirks. And once again, it is 99 Trampas Parker, the American, that now lives and resides in Italy. But Schmetz still chasing the lead up, 15 Johan Boonen. Third then for Jackie Martins. There's the leader. There's the second place man. Third place man about to come through. There he is. The big factory Husqvarna thundering power. Johansson behind him. 4 on the 500 Honda, Van Dorn. Now very much in their minorities, one would say, the two strokes. 11, Darrell King has got Trampas Parker right on his tail. So Parker still chipping away at the riders in front, trying to improve his points position. Smets has gone into the lead. Joel Smets on the Husselberg leads then from, it's still Boonen. Well, he's second, may have a problem of some kind. Teammate Jackie Martins third, closing on Boonen. There's obviously a problem there. Big jumps around this circuit. Does a lot of damage to the bikes, sometimes off the landings. Could be a wheel collapsing problem for Boonen, we don't know. Van Dorn, number 4 going through. Here is Parker. Still nibbling away at those leading riders. He needs to score points here. He's got past Darrell King, number 11. Going after the next one, the 360 KTM. Just at that little bit of a disadvantage power-wise, but it's Schmetz. Listen to the sound of that 4-stroke. Looking back for second, it is now Martins. So where has Boonen gone? And the answer is there. The back wheel has collapsed. He gives a thumb up to Peter Johansson to say, well, I'm okay, but the bike isn't. The back wheel has collapsed. Schmetz, he's had his share of problems this year, but he's leading here, Heat 1 in Northern Ireland. The Irish Open Class Grand Prix. Martins is now second. It will then be Peter Johansson that is third. Number 95 on the bike. So at the moment, the Husqvarnas certainly leading everybody. 44 goes through yet again, John van der Berg, beginning to drop off the pace just a little. There is Parker closing on van der Berg. Schmetz leads. Takes the checkered flag. We're looking back for second. First to the factory Husqvarnas. It's Martins with the side panel hanging off the bike. Then it's Johansson then for third. John van der Berg for fourth. Fifth then for Van Dorn. So 3 4-strokes. Led the field home. Martins finishing second. Just checking out the rear suspension. Celebrations begin. The champagne gets showered as we wait for Heat 2 to come down onto the line. Schmetz it is that leads them out onto the gate. Followed once again by Van Dorn, then Darrell King. Parker picks his starting blocks precisely, hopes for a better finish in Heat 2. We wait now for the gate to drop. It does. Into that right-hand corner for the second time of asking today. This time, is it going to be clean? Well, it looks to be so far. Into the lead goes number 95, Peter Johansson. Good start for him. Well, let's look down the field to see who's second, third and fourth. Johansson, 95, leads then. Smets is then second, winner of Heat 1. Then John van der Berg. Then 24, that's Shane King, the younger brother to Daryl King. And remember, these two have already finished 1 and 2 in one Grand Prix this year. Whole gaggle of riders, and amongst them is Trampus Parker. Not a good start for Parker again. The 360 down on power off the start's being left by the big four strokes. Smets chasing Johansson in first. Smets is second. Looking back for third. John van der Berg still there. Shane King behind him. And that, I think, is Martins behind Shane King. Van Dorn going through. Well, we're looking back for Trampus Parker, and on cue he arrives, having to use every cubic inch of power from that KTM at the moment. The deep sand in places here on this Irish track, obviously sapping the power from the bike, but the big four strokes don't seem to care about that. Martins, Team Husqvarna. Husqvarna leads then with Johansson. Well, the crowd, small that they are enjoying the racing. Parker goes for the back brake as he skips through the jumps, bringing the nose of the bike down. Having to work so hard here at the moment. Johansson leads then from Smets. Second place, Martins third. Well, it all went wrong for Smets on the last lap. The machine gave up. Martins passed Peter Johansson to take the lead and to win. Husqvarna then won, Husqvarna second, and Van Dorn it was third.
Characters, the complete sign service. Commissioned by Mitsui Yamaha to design a new team vehicle livery for the 95 season, Characters designed, manufactured and applied the new liveries within 2 weeks of the order being placed. Characters continue to ensure that the Yamaha team have the brightest image on the road and in the pits. You too can stand out in the crowd if you contact Characters on 01438 354 843.
Sebastian Tortelli here at his home Grand Prix, the 16-year-old number 25, hoping to get a good result. Paul Malin making some final adjustments to his starting blocks. The championship leader here, Pouzar, featuring his new headwear. 15, Frederici. As the crowd settled down, it's Paul Malin. 1991, Paul Malin came to this track, won both motos at the 500 Grand Prix, back again in 95 on a 125. The gate dropped, but not for everyone, as you can see. Riders were stuck on the gate as the rest of the pack ignored everybody's protests and just roared off into the distance. It was number 12, Mascio, and Vial there protesting to the officials. Stop the race, they're saying. But nevertheless, the race was not to be stopped. 75 Pouzar it was that led from 15 Federici, then Chiodi. Camolengo, number 30, got such good hole shots at the previous round in San Marino, but not here. Tortelli at his home Grand Prix, not a good start for him. Down into the mud goes number 8, Mauro Del Lago. Slippery, as you can tell, on the inside of the circuit. Easy to make a mistake. And he just demonstrated the art of that. 37 there, that's Neil Prince, the Welshman from Great Britain. And Paul Malin, 68, was caught on the gate along with Mascio and Vial, but decided not to argue about it. But these two have now got to play catch up. Half a lap down, they're not going to stop the race, so they're just going to have to get on with it. In the lead then, it's number 15, Frederici. Chiodi second. Third then for number 75, and that's Puzar, the championship leader. Oh, very nearly for Camerlengo. Back end got away from him. He managed to hold on. It's quite slippery as they come into that left-hand corner. 10 just going through there, Bartolini. The battle is certainly on now between these riders. Look at this. Chiodi going for the lead. He's got it. Frederici then gets demoted down to second. Puzar, third, number 75. We're looking back behind Puzar. It's number 21. 21, Cheryl Sweeby just gone through as the rest still play catch up on the leaders. Tortelli. There is Davy Strybus. It's been a disastrous day again for Strybus so far, but not for this man. Out in front once again. Kiko Chiodi with Frederici second. Puzar it is third. Puzar heads up towards the triple. This is where the British rider Neil Shepherd crashed dramatically in Saturday's qualification, taking off too steeply, landing on the other side of the triple without the bike breaking both his legs. Now in a French hospital, and we hope he gets well soon. The rest of the riders still trying to play catch up on the leaders. But it is Chiodi that leads, untroubled at the moment by anyone. Frederici was still back there in second, Puzar third, and Puzar must know that his championship points are being edged away slowly by the Italian Chiodi. It's Puzar that leads the championship so far. Chiodi chases him in second, and it's all really about scoring points. Tortelli here at his home Grand Prix, back in fourth. 60 down the hill, the South African Colin Dugmore, scoring points at most Grand Prix, but certainly unable to get right up there at the top. 71 goes through, and that's Fanton, the Italian. There's Jimmy Button, 59. It's not been a good day so far for Button either. But this man certainly has done everything asked of him. Chiodi wins then, takes the 20 points. Second place for number 15, Federici. And we're looking back for championship leader once again. There he is, number 75, Sandro Puzar. 5 points now is given away to Chiodi in the championship. Well, race 2 still yet to come. That's Kurt Nickel there, the 250 Grand Prix rider, talking to Paul Malin. Kurt, of course, living not too far from this French track. Well, Heat 2 comes down onto the line as the official starter prepares. The board goes up. Hopefully this time they'll get a clean start, and Mascio and Vial will be up front instead of at the back. Here they go into that first right-hander. It's tight, and it looks like 25, Sebastian Tortelli that leads. From second place man, race 1 winner Chiodi. Tortelli finishing fourth in Heat 1. Well, there is Mascio. Better start from him this time. Not getting caught on the gate. 10 going through Bartolini. And Puzar is out. 75, the championship leader, Sandro Puzar. Well, the bike looks extremely bent, so that's a whole bag full of points he's going to give to Chiodi. But it's Tortelli at the moment that leads. 20 points if he stays there. There is Chiodi, and he's got Federici right in his tracks. Then it's Mascio, number 12. He's in fourth at the moment. Then number 10, Bartolini for fifth. 26, Philippe Dupasquier, very nearly losing the front wheel of the bike. But the young man that certainly has got this race sewn up at the moment, 25 there, Tortelli it is, only 16 years of age, hoists the bike up over that triple. Chiodi hangs on to second. Then it's Federici. These are the top three, and you can see the gap between third and second. Then number 12, Mascio, fourth behind Mascio. It is still number 10, Bartolini for fifth. 59, Jimmy Button, the American. Get into grips with these hard French tracks. Hoists it up over the triple. But Tortelli in front of his home crowd, what could he ask for other than winning at least one of the two races? Chiodi may be happy to settle for second. It's 17 points. It gives him the overall result. Federici still there third. I don't think he's going to catch Chiodi before the end of the race. Mascio still back in fourth, but he's under threat now from Bartolini. So we might see a change before the checkered between those two. Then it's Button, 59. The tall, lanky figure of the American on the 125cc Honda. Behind Button, that's Fanton, the Swiss rider, Dupasquier, and we're back at the front. Well, this young man will certainly be celebrating tonight. If he can just stay there to the checkered flag, it will be at least one Moto win at his home Grand Prix. Tortelli it is from Chiodi, and Chiodi has obviously decided second is good enough. 20 and 17 points, that's 37, and Pouzar scoring none in Heat 2. Federici still there in third. We're looking back behind Federici, and it is number 10 now, Bartolini. Bartolini then has passed Mascio for that position. We thought that might happen. Then it's Button, looking just a little rejuvenated, but I don't think he'll catch the two in front. Here he comes, race leader 25, Sebastian Tortelli, hoists the Kawasaki up over the big jumps. Here's the second place man. Chiodi, a little bit of showboating for the crowd. Has time, up the uphill double, there he goes. It's a spectacular track here. Oh, just look at Federici. Showboating for the crowd as Tortelli comes in, takes the checkered flag. Celebrations begin here in France. Chiodi chases him home, second place.
Vanden Worth will design and fit an awning to suit your needs. Top awnings used by the top race teams. Vanden Worth can also supply marquees for private functions and parties. For your awning or marquee, no matter how small or large, call Vanden Worth now.
Round 9 of the World Open Class Series came here to Germany. Mike Young, number 97, back in action. 99, Trampus Parker, so desperately trying to win this championship. And Joel Smets, number 3, on the Husselberg, who now currently leads the Open Class Series. Well, to the music of the local band, Joel Smets here prepares for Heat 1. Hot day, lots of fluid being absorbed by the riders in preparation of the two races. Dehydration playing a major problem. Yes, to you as well, sir. There's Trampus Parker. Cooling off before the race starts. As race control, we wait for the riders to come down onto the gate for the start of Heat 1. Here they are. Smets there, number 3. Peter Johansson, 95. Trampus Parker, 99. 4. Van Dorn. Up goes the 15-second board. 11. The machine of Darrell King. Heads down. Gate drops. Here they go. Heat 1 gets underway. Who's it going to be? Looks like a couple of Hondas into that corner first. I think Peter Dirks decided to take a long way around over the top. It's number 12 then that leads. Rudy van Leeuwen then taking the lead in this first heat. Smets, not a good start for him. Martins was in front. But it is Parker that has gone to the head. Van Leeuwen there behind him. Daryl King amongst that group. Where's Smets? Well, the answer is there. Down in about 7th position at the moment. And I'm sure that won't stay that way for too long. But it is Parker. Needs to win here. Wasn't a good time for him in Ireland. Little underpowered with the 360 KTM. But here on the hard tracks in Germany, a chance to get on measure with the big 600cc four-strokes. Trampas Parker lives and resides in Italy now and has done for some years, an American by birth. Leads on the 360 KTM. Second place, Gerald Delapine, number 20. Martins is also amongst that group. There is Smets on the gas. There's Johansson, the second of the Husqvarna factory riders. But there is nobody, I think, that's going to catch this man. 99, Trampas Parker. Determined to somehow take the head of the standings in this Open Class Championship. Smets it is that leads from Parker at the moment. There is Smets behind Martins. Martins, the former World Open Class Champion. Track conditions are a little slippery. Van Leeuwen beginning to drop down the order just a bit. But what can you say about this man? Parker, very, very cool at the moment. Daryl King, number 11. Back in third at the moment, chasing the man in front, number 20. And that's Gerald Delapine. Parker still has the front. I feel fairly sure he's going to refuse to relinquish it. Delapine. Then Martins, third. King has dropped to fourth. Fifth then for Smets. And Smets is certainly on the charge. Johansson behind him in sixth. As the rest of the pack come round, there is Shane King. That's Daryl King's brother. Not a good start for him on the KTM. But it is Parker. Well, heading, or certainly on course, barring any mechanical breakdown or rider error, for a maximum points in this first leg. Up into second then goes Jackie Martins. Then it's King. Then Johansson and Smets. Delapine there with Smets. And I think that was Van Dorn, number 4. That was amongst that group. There is Van Leeuwen. Younger brother of Daryl, Shane, still in there in the action, scoring points in the top 15. Anstey, Mervyn Anstey, the British rider, number 8. Well, it's the first time we've seen him so far today. But it is Parker that has it at the moment, looking very cool and comfortable. As Martins takes the high side, it's a Husqvarna gone into third now with Johansson. Smets is now fourth behind that Husqvarna. They really are scrapping for those places, second, third, fourth and fifth. But Parker has the front at the moment and is obviously pumped up fully to take it. And look at King! King on the Kawasaki challenging the Husqvarna of Johansson. A real battle going on between those two. Parker going through, looking back for second. Here he is, Martins. And they're beginning to close on him. It's King, then number 4, and then number 3, Smets and Van Dorn. Certainly it hasn't been settled who's going to finish third, fourth and fifth. I should think Jackie Martins is probably fully aware of what's going on behind him. Parker leads Moto number 1 here in Germany. And Van Dorn goes up into second. Martins to third, Smets to fourth. It is changing so rapidly at the moment. Johansson back there in fifth. And King, well, he must have been off the bike somewhere. Tremendous tussle going on earlier, and they must have collided out of camera shot. Parker still leads at the moment. Looking back for second, it should be number 4. It is Van Dorn from Smets, number 3. then Jackie Martins, then Johansson. The two factory Husqvarna riders not able to get on terms with this man. Trampus Parker, 99, who leads on the KTM. 360cc machine. Van Dorn on the 500 Honda and Schmetz behind him on the Husserberg. Listen to the sound of that four-stroke. Martins, Johansson, the two teammates. Neck and neck, out goes the board. It's for Daryl King, number 11. Look at the dust. Got to find your way through that. Parker comes around, takes the checkered flag and the 20 points. Van Dorn takes second and the 17. Looking back for third. And it was Schmetz. Gives you some idea of how much dirt and dust gets into the riders. Jackie Martins looking absolutely exhausted. Dehydration playing a major part. Well, time to water the track before the start of Heat 2. Try and avert the dust problems that have come up in race 1. There's Parker. Won the first race from that man, number 4, Van Dorn. Can he do it again in Heat 2? Schmetz leads the championship, Parker trailing in second. It could change after this race. Janssen, 95 there in the middle. 20, Delapine, they're off. Who's it going to be that hits the front first? It's tight, they're bumping them. We've got somebody down. And it's Delapine. Delapine on the ground. And it's Johansson that's out in front. Then it's Parker. Then Van Dorn. Behind Van Dorn, that's Schmetz. Schmetz fourth. Then Boonen there behind there in fifth. So Johan Boonen rode so well in Ireland, finding things not quite so easy here in Germany. Top 4 coming through. There's the 4th place man, number 3, Joel Schmetz. Johansson it is at the moment on the Husqvarna from Parker on the KTM. Then it's a battle between 4, Van Dorn and Schmetz, number 3. And Parker is definitely closing. Van Dorn and Schmetz. Well, I don't know whether that was a helping pat on the back or a shower of cold water for Schmetz and that gentleman in the corner. But here's Johansson, and look at Parker beginning to menace the rider in front. Van Dorn, Schmetz, certainly not giving this up so far. Wants to retain his championship lead. Can he do it? Can he catch the man at the front? King, Boonen, 15 going through, but it's still Johansson that leads from Parker, from Van Dorn, from Schmetz. No change so far. 71 here, the German Dietmar Lacker. Johan Boonen pressuring the man in front, which is Daryl King, the Kiwi. But the battle is on at the front. The Swede, Johansson, leading 99. He's got old Johansson stalled the bike. Well, what can you say? Came out of that rut and stalled it. He's losing place. He's got it going again. Well, from first, I think, down to about, well, maybe 4th or even 5th. Schmetz going through. King just going through. Well, that was cruel luck. And inherits the lead. Trampus Parker, a former 125 and 250 world champion. Won the 125 for KTM, the 250 for Honda. He's now on course, possibly, to take the Open Class crown in 1995. Van Dorn has got King behind him, number 11. Honda versus Kawasaki. Big 4-stroke of Johan Boonen, you can hear it roar. 99, Trampus Parker. Well, if he stays where he is, he could well move into the lead. In fact, he will move into the lead in the championship. Where is Schmetz? We look back, and the answer is he's here. He emerges through the dust in the trees. Joel Schmetz. That pit board's for King. Well, there's Johansson, and it's packed up on him again. Well, what a place to stop. Mechanical failure, obviously denying Pity Johansson. Well, he's pretty well miffed, I think, at the moment. Not happy at all. Well, these things happen. Look, he gives a fist up to obviously one of his compatriots, a fellow Swede. Well, it's back to the pits for an early shower for Peter Johansson. Well, if he can find his way back to the pits, of course. Here comes the checkered flag, then Trampus Parker wins 2 in a row. This takes him to the head of the standings. Looking back for second, it's going to be number 71, the German Dietmar Lacker. There he is. Third place then for Jolsmets and just the 15 points. Trampus Parker here taking a well-earned drink, and so he should do. 2 race wins, now leads the world standings.
When it comes to filters, the awesome HRC Honda team use no other than Multi-Air. The proven multiple thickness, multi-grade foam system keeps out your engine's worst enemies. Sand, mud, dust. Multi-Air filters handle it all to keep you and your bike on the winning track. Multi-Air, filters for winners.
Well, it wasn't me they were blowing kisses at, which was a shame. Paul Cooper here, number 17, the SoCal Honda rider. His sponsors paying for him to make this trip to Venezuela. Number 2, this is the face and the machine of Stefan Everts. Number 5, the back of the British rider Kurt Nickel. Very, very hot here. Yves Demarié, the Frenchman, back for his first Grand Prix after breaking the lower part of his leg. Well, Yoki Carlson here with a very unusual way of saying hello to his girlfriend. Well, job done. I hope she saw it. Marnik Bavorts, number 4, really on a charge in this 250 World Championship at the moment. 61, the machine of the German Pit Beirer. With number 11, the bike of Andre Bartolini. There is Bartolini, another rider, back after injury, as Demarié receives some physio before the start of Moto 1. Well, Talon Volan, only an American can have a hat like that, and it's Talon Volan that's wearing it. Last minute adjustments to the start gate. Pedro Tractor here, the fastest man in Saturday's time training. The riders wait for the start of race 1 in the cool, and there you are, just one of a very few amount of clouds that we have here in Venezuela. It's a very hot day as Tractor leads the riders down onto the gate for the start of the first heat. Marnik Bavorts, number 4, drops in beside him. Then the American, the Silklin JHK Kawasaki rider Talon Volan. There's his teammate Stefan Everts. Beirer, Demarié, number 3. Everybody will be watching Demarié on his comeback ride since that broken leg. The gate is about to drop then for the start of Heat 1, and it does. Tractor laid off the gate, not a good start for him. Who's it going to be that gets to the front first? It looks like Volan. Bavorts is also there. Well, I would say it's the American number 8, Talon Volan, and Bavorts trying around the outside. Volan goes through the inside and keeps the lead. Third place man, that's Jamie Scavenels. Bartolini goes through Herrin and Carlson, but it's the American at the moment, Talon Volan, who, back after a slight injury, is on the gas. Nickel, number 5, on that HRC Honda. But all eyes are looking for Everts. Volan going through. Bavorts, then Scavenels. Then it's Tractor. Beirer is amongst the group. Nickel, Bartolini's also amongst that leading group. There's Rob Herring. There's his teammate, Carlson, right behind him as they launch these 250s through that set of quad jumps. Out come the boards. Here they come. Voland, Bevorts, Scavenels, Tractor. Then it should be Byra, Nicol, and then, well, there's Everts now. He's on the gas. Devon Everts got Bartolini and Herring there behind him. Then Carlson chasing Herring. But it's Voland, the American, at the moment that's on the gas here in Venezuela. Bevorts, Scavenels, great ride from Scavenels. Tractor, Byra, Nicol, number 5, the Brit, so desperately wanting to move up the championship. Won the Irish 250 Grand Prix overall. And it is Voland at the moment. Bevorts, number 4, he's still there behind him. It really is cut and thrust at the moment at the front. Robbie Herring riding the RWJ's Honda. There's his teammate, Jochen Carlson. And there is Dumouriez. Well, one can only expect his first ride back to be a little bit tentative. Obviously not quite fully racing fit, but I'm sure the Frenchman will do everything he can to get to the front, if possible. But there is no stopping this man at the moment. JHK Silkeline, Talon Voland, absolutely flying. Bevorts is still there with him. They really are pouring on the gas. It's so hot here. Dehydration is going to play a major part in this race. Here comes Voland. The American, more obviously used to the hot conditions. Still Bevorts, still Tractor back there in 4th. Nicol going through, Everts behind him. That should be Byra, number 61, it is. Pit Byra, the German, really is a hard charger, as we've seen. Oh, look at that, Voland very nearly jumped off the track. Well, it was almost part of the spectator arena. How he managed to save that, I really don't know. Kurt Nicol relinquished his challenge at home championships for this year to concentrate on the Grand Prix. And Nicol at the moment wants to win the 250 championship if he can. Bevorts, number 4, still chasing Voland. There's Pedro Tractor. Despite that poor gate, he got through now. Nicol chasing Scavenels. There's Byra. He's chasing Everts. It's beginning certainly to hot up. Bartolini back from injury. Obviously just a little bit detuned. Herring behind him. Carlson there also in the hunt for points. Bevorts has gone to the front. Voland down to 2nd. Tractor still 3rd. So a change at the front. Monique Bevorts certainly on a challenge for this World Championship. Nicol, Everts behind him. Then it's Byra. Byra going after Everts. Then Scavenels beginning to drop off the pace. Beautiful clear day. And Voland has gone back into the lead. Bevorts must have been off somewhere. Between 8 to 10,000 people have turned up to enjoy this 250 Grand Prix racing, and they certainly do have something to enjoy at the moment. Tractor still hangs on to 3rd. It is really beginning to hot up. Not only the weather, but the racing as well. Voland, the American. Top 3 going through, Bevorts, Tractor. There's Nicol, still got Everts behind him. Stefan Everts, the Belgian, currently leads the championship. Wants so much to make this his first number 1 plate in this category. Former 125 world champion. Jochen Carlson riding the British home championship at the moment. Leon Gisbert's behind him, number 70. There is Dumouriez, and that's Bollet, I think, behind him, number 9. The younger Frenchman, his compatriot. Frederic Bollet, but we're back at the front with the leaders, and it's closing. Bevorts has decided to make amends for that mistake. Whilst leading, Tractor sits back in 3rd on the Chesterfield Suzuki. It's really all about getting the pace right, getting the corners right, as they absolutely scream through. Look at this. It is hot racing. There are no holes being given here. It's head down and go for it. While Bevorts looks to have gone back into the lead. Talon Volan dropping back to second. Oh, Bavorts is certainly a man that is determined. He wants to have a crack at winning this World Championship. Stepping very much into the shoes of the former 2 times world champion, the South African Greg Albertine, in that Biffy Suzuki squad, and he certainly has proved his worth. Byra right behind Scavenells going through there. Bavorts, number 4 on the bike. They are still scratching for these lower placings. There's Carlson. As we are back with that leader, Monique Bavorts. Volan should still be behind him, number 8. Indeed he is. The Kawasaki just at the moment unable to catch that Suzuki. 3rd place man, Pedro Tractor. Then it's Stefan Everts, number 2. Then Kurt Nickel. Then it's Byra. And we've seen these two battle handlebar to handlebar before. Are they going to do it again? Bavorts going through, waiting for Volan. Here he is. Where's that 3rd place man? Tractor. We got somebody off. I think that is Everts. Stefan Everts. An uncharacteristic mistake by the young Belgian rider. Got it too high in the berm, lost the bike completely, and, well, this is Kurt Nickel. Well, he's on his way back. And somebody else also on his way back. Is that Scavenells? Jamie Scavenells. Well, I don't know what's happened there. Well, there are the machines. That looks like the machine of Yogi Carlson, number 13. So they all appear to be falling by the wayside. Bavorts takes the checkered flag. No mechanical problems for him. Volan comes home in 2nd. 3rd place as we wait for him. Here he is. And that's Pip Byra. So Byra up there into 3rd. 4th then for Stefan Everts. Not happy with the result at all. And Talon Volan, well, he needs that water very, very hot. '17, Paul Cooper. Look at the exhaustion on the man's face as the top 3 celebrate Heat 1. Well, Kurt Nickel crashing twice in Heat 1, pulled out with bike troubles. Scavenells and Carlson both ran out of fuel, and the news is that Demarie, after some tremendous pain from Heat 1, has decided to miss out on Heat 2. Pedro Tractor on the inside, he finished 5th in Heat 1 after staying 3rd for so long. Here they come. Who's it going to be? Bavorts on the outside, Nickel on the inside, and Volan was there as well. Nickel, no score from race 1. Well, we watch now and we wait. Well, it's a Honda then that has the lead at the moment. And it is Nickel from Volan, from Bavorts, and I suspect Byra's amongst that group somewhere. Scavenell's going round the outside there, high on the berm. That's Herring going through. Bartolini behind him. Oh, look at this. They are trying to out-jump each other, and Nickel, as Volan has taken the lead. Nickel drops back to 2nd. It really is cut and thrust out there. Nickel's gone back into the lead again. Volan back to 2nd, where you can't take your eye off the screen for one moment here. It all changes. Bollet just gone through number 9. Demarie has pulled out of this one, doesn't want to know. We've got somebody on the ground. We've got a couple there together. Danny Thaber's the one on top. That looks like Scavenell's the one underneath. Got his leg trapped in the bike, I think. Going to need some help to get that out very carefully. Well, as they sort things out, the tussle is on at the front. Nickel it is still from Volan, from Bavorts. There is Stefan Everts, back in about 5th at the moment. Carlson going through, getting the pit board from his mechanic Bob Bratcher. They're settling down Paul Cooper. He finished 8th in race 1 and it completely exhausted him. Just look at this. This is one way of cooling the riders off. Talon Volan, incidentally, is riding with a drinks pack strapped to his back. He's got the lead again. Bavorts is going after Nickel, but Volan having to take sustenance liquid sustenance during the course of the race from that drinks pack on his back. Nickel falling into the clutches of the German Beyer at the moment. Beyer just about to go past Voland, and he does, and Nickel. So it's Beyer, the German, I think, that's going to be looking for the lead. And he does. He's in the lead. Pip Beyer. Well, this is tremendous stuff. There's Voland. Well, we've momentarily lost Bevorts. Here he comes with Nickel. So that's 4th and 5th, and Bevorts all over the place. May have a problem there. I don't know. I can't see anything that's wrong with the bike, but he's dropped back. And now we've got Voland in the lead. So it's changing so rapidly here. So Voland from Beyer, and it's still Voland. And he takes the checkered flag and a well-earned win. Beyer comes home in 2nd place, looking back for 3rd, and it's going to be Stefan Everts. And just look at this, absolutely exhausted, needing water to wash down with. It's so hot, dehydration a major problem, but it's Voland then that takes the garland and the champagne in Heat 2.
Issue 6 of Motovision will be available soon and contains great action from all 3 World Championship classes. Plus American and French Supercross. Issue 6 of Motovision, the video magazine.
Round 12 of the 250 World Championship kicks into gear again. Pedro Tractor here at the start, just making final adjustments with Monique Bevorts. Doing the same, Paul Cooper with Robbie Herring. Cooper has to beat Jamie Scavenels here to qualify to go through to Japan to get his expenses and travel costs paid. Bevorts drops the bike into the area that he has decided is the best place to get off the gate. Beyer 61 with Everts and Bartolini side by side as we wait, the crowd wait, the journalists wait, the cameras are rolling. Here we go. He won. Gate drops. Who's it going to be? Oh, we got somebody down. Whoa, they're all falling down. Leon Gisber's one of them. And Beyer was amongst that group that went down as well. And Bollet number 9, another faller on that first corner. But it's Nickel that has gone into the lead, and he's got Bevorts with him. This is beginning to be a familiar sight. As the rest come charging through, the pace is absolutely electric here. We'll have to keep an eye out for the German Beyer down in that first corner, but that won't stop him. Look at this, really radical stuff over these big jumps. Oh, holy smoke, that was radical. Couldn't see who it was. So it's Bevorts now from Nickel. We're looking back behind that group, and that's got to be Bartolini. Tractor on the inside, Everts on the outside. Bevorts it is, with Kurt Nickel, the former 500 World Championship rider. Bartolini, Tractor, and Pedro Tractor really starting to make a bit of a late charge in the championship. Talon Volen going through. Remy van Ries back after that wrist injury. As the rest come screaming through. Let's hope we can pick up Beyer. That was Cooper, I think, just gone through there, number 17. But it's Monique Bevorts from Kurt Nickel. Belgium versus Great Britain at the moment. Bartolini, the Italian. Then Tractor, the Dutchman. Then the Belgium Everts. That's Joachim Carlsen going through. Well, they look on. Looks at his watch. Well, the race hasn't taken that long. The front two stay as they did before. Nicol still in second, Bevort's leading. Let's look back behind it. Still looks like Bartolini with Pedro Tractor behind him. Then Stefan Everts. Then Carlsen. Out goes the board. That's got to be Volan going through. Talon Volan indeed, yep. Just look at this for high-flying stuff. Spectacular. And once upon a time they said Kurt Nicol wasn't a jumper, but looking at this circuit, you couldn't disagree more. Bartolini being urged on by the Chesterfield gang. It really is a spectacular circuit. Volan, number 8. Not a good start for him, but still charging nevertheless. Scavenels, Eastwood, and that's Cooper. So Cooper, number 17, has got to catch Scavenels. Eastwood first, then Scavenels, to be assured of getting a place into Japan. Bevorts, Nicol. Kurt Nicol riding that HRC-engined Honda. Pedro Tractor on the Chesterfield Suzuki. Then it's Bartolini on the Chesterfield Yamaha. Then Everts on the Silkeling JHK Kawasaki. There's his teammate, Talon Volan, going through. But Bevorts, once again, showing just pure supremacy here. Nicol, Bartolini and Everts, they're closing on the second place man. It really is some kind of battle here. Look at Volan. It's no holds barred stuff. Remy van Ries back after injury, and Cooper's got past the two in front. He's past Eastwood and he's past Scavenels. Paul Cooper is what one would say is really on a charge. Down the hill comes Bevorts, braking hard into that right-hander. Throws it up over the next jump, gets the green flag. It's all clear on the other side, they're telling him. There's Nicol and Bartolini and Everts. Joachim Carlsen, number 13, on the RWJ's Honda. That's a good ride for him so far. Pedro Tractor. Then it's Voland and should be Van Ries after Voland. Bevorts still there at the front, gets the pit board. Nicol now has Bartolini closing on him with Everts still there. Carlsen very much out on his own. Gets the get on from team manager Colin Reid. It's the RWJ's team manager. Talon Volan, number 8. There's Van Ries, 67. Well, he's riding well considering he's back after injury. And Paul Cooper certainly going to be happy with this. Colin Reid gives him the get on as well. Well, at the moment, he's in front of Scavenels, so he's in a position. There is Scavenels. Oh, the bike has stopped for Jamie Scavenels. He is distraught. And that's, I think, a polite way of describing it. It's a checkered flag then for Bevorts, number 4. We're looking back. It should be Nicol, number 5. And look at Bevorts. It is Nicol. Then Stefan Everts finishes 3rd. What happened to Bartolini? Well, he didn't finish, it would seem. Well, motorcycles are not the only good things to look at here in Poland. Well, the music sounded and the crowds thoroughly enjoying the racing as Heat 2 got underway. And the question now is, who was it going to be that took the whole shot into that right-hand corner? And it looks like Bevorts again. Oh, I don't know what Marnik Bevorts runs that bike on, but certainly it gets out of the gate well. Cooper in a good position, but it's Bevorts from Pedro Tractor from Carlsen. Then it was Nicol, that's Everts. There's Bartolini, and there's Cooper. So Cooper, I think, in front of Scavenels. There was Scavenels just going through. Incidentally, he ran out of fuel in race 1 on the last lap. No wonder he was so annoyed with himself. 13. Jockey Carlson with Nickel behind him, then Everts. It really is no holds barred stuff at the moment. Well, there's Cooper. Scavenhill's going through behind him, and we're back at the front. Pedro Tractor now up into second. So it's still Bevorts that leads as they come towards the big jump. There is Talon Volan, number 8. Look at this, what a shot. Down the big hill, up the other side. Marnik Bevorts at the moment has the better of everyone. Leads Heat 2 from Pedro Tractor. Big time air over the jump. Then it's Yogi Carlson. Volan coming through. Teammate Everts behind him at the moment. Back with the leaders. And there goes Bevorts. Should be Pedro Tractor. Second, 71 indeed it is. Third place man over the hill, Carlson. Then it's fourth for the two JHK men. That's Voland, fifth for Everts. But the leader, Bevorts, certainly making no mistakes whatsoever on that Biffy Johnson Suzuki. He really has got the measure of the circuit here in Poland. Into that downhill bumpy section. Puts the power back into the bike. Tractor still there in second place. Talon Voland crashes. It's a broken shoulder blade, we understand. He's a great deal of pain as Marnik Bevorts heads for the checkered flag, wins Heat 2 here in Poland. Looking back for second place, it should be Chesterfield Suzuki, Pedro Tractor, and it is third place then, JHK Silkling Kawasaki, number 2, the Belgian Stefan Everts.
The 96 production Suzuki RM250 machine is being ridden to Grand Prix heat wins by Marnik Bevorts. Bevorts totally dominated the last 250cc Grand Prix in Poland, taking a double heat win. Suzuki, do it now.
Welcome, folks. We're here, 1995, end of July. We're in Yogyakarta, Indonesia for the next to last round for the 125 GPs. Look around. We got the pool. We got the music. The sun's gone away for a little bit now, but should be back here in a few minutes, and just enjoying it. It's Thursday. We got a day to relax, so everyone's just trying to get back on the time schedule. And just have a good time. Everyone, we got people playing ping pong, swimming, a little dancing tonight, I'm sure. Maybe some other things, I don't know. But we're just having fun.
Round 11 of the World 125cc World Championship came here to Indonesia. And with most of the riders arriving nearly a week earlier to acclimatise, a large crowd of 65,000 turned out to watch some of the greatest motorcycle racers in the world. Coyote here, closing on Puzar's championship lead. Number 2, the Chesterfield Yamaha man. Wants to be the world champion for this year, wants the number 1 plate. The question now is, can he get it? The man he has to beat here, Sandro Puzar, just 5 points difference between them. The machine of the young Frenchman Sébastien Tortelli, only 16 years of age, as they strap up his hands to prevent the problems of blistering. Well, as you can see, a splendid turnout here. The Indonesians have done a marvellous job providing facilities for the riders from all over the world. As the bikes are taken into the Parc Fermé, Coyote here with the Chesterfield squad just beginning to think about the race to come. Number 2 on the bike. As we say, the question is, will it be number 1 for 1996? Well, as the girls wander off over to the start, number 12 comes down, Machio, onto the gate and very nearly gives a young lady a ride. That could have been painful. Jimmy Button, the American, who we saw talking to us earlier, relaxing by the pool, drops in alongside number 40, Brian Jorgensen, the Danish rider. Former European champion, the man that beat Tortelli to that European championship. Up goes the board, the gate will drop, and we'll get Heat 1 underway. Here they come. The question now, who will it be that hits that corner first? Oh, DeLargo, good start. Someone slid into the far fencing, but they're over that first jump. 15, Frederici has gone down on that first turn. That looks very much like a dislocated shoulder that he may have. Well, they should be able to pop that back into place. Maybe he'll be out for Heat 2. Well, as the riders get into the first lap of Heat 1, it's Frederic Vial, number 7, that leads. Looking back behind him, that's Camerlengo. Then behind Camerlengo, that's Machio. And as they come through, well, that looked like DeLargo. And 59, Jimmy Button. Ooh, that was close. That's Puzar with his number bib flapping behind him. Tortelli was with him, and here's Chiodi. So Chiodi behind Puzar at the moment. Track conditions, as you can see, very, very testing on these riders. But it's Frederic Vial through that series of washboards out of that right-hand corner with Camerlengo, Eric Camerlengo, that is, second. Then Machio. That's Bartolini, and he's got number 8, DeLargo, behind him. That was, I think, Tortelli just gone through 25. And that's Puzar. Button was in front of Tortelli, so Puzar still at the moment in front of this man, Chiodi. And Chiodi having to work for this. That's Paul Malin. You can see it on the back of his shirt. The British rider, he's going through, so not a good start for him. 40 then. Brian Jorgensen got such a good start, but hasn't been able to hold on to it. Vial. Well, Frederic Vial certainly has decided he wants to go out into the lead in the first heat and stay there. Here he comes, the Frenchman, number 7, on the Kawasaki. We're looking back for second place. And into view comes the second place man. It's now Machio. So Camerlengo dropping down one. Then Bartolini. Then it's Button. Then Tortelli. So where's Puzar? That was Puzar just gone through. Now where then is Chiodi? And the answer is there. So he's beginning to close on Puzar. The battle is very much between those two. The man at the front, Frederic Vial, has quite a good margin between himself and this man, number 12, Michele Machio, then Camerlengo, but Button beginning to close on Camerlengo with Tortelli, number 25, staying in touch with Button. There's Puzar, 77. Well, we're back with the leader. And Vial certainly wants to make this first race his. Settling down into a nice even pace. Machio behind him second, unable to close on the leader. But behind him in third position, it looks like Button, and Button has now gone past Camerlengo. So Button up to third. There's Tortelli back there in fifth, and it's sixth then for Puzar. Now where is Chiodi? Very nearly came to grief then. Went to go on the inside pass, and the rider completely stopped. But he made it through. Vial in the lead. He certainly is unaware of the action that's going on behind him. The battle that's going to be on between Puzar and Chiodi. If Chiodi can get in touch with him. As on the inside goes Tortelli. Passes Machio. Goes up a position. There's the American Button. Now, where is Puzar? Well, there's the leader. Already beginning to pick off the back markers. And Tortelli looks to have gone up to second. Indeed he has, the young French star. Up to second, and it's Machio. We're looking behind Machio. There's Button. So Button must now be 4th. Well, what a turn up for this. It's Tortelli that's passed Vial on the last lap to win. Tortelli wins, then Vial second, looks over his shoulder. It's Button for 3rd, then Maschio's going to come in 4th. And look at that, Tortelli, he's happy with that result, but there's one man that isn't happy, Pouzar. He broke down in that race, he's given away the championship. Now Chiodi leads by 5 points. He's pulled back a deficit of 50 points on Pouzar. It's going to be exciting for race 2. And here it comes. Down the gate goes. It's all between Pouzar and Chiodi. And Pouzar gets a pretty good start. I think he's around 3rd at the moment. And where is Chiodi? Well, we've got a few riders on the floor. Paul Malin, it looks to have got the whole shot. There's Pouzar, Camerlengo. And that's Bartolini with Tortelli behind him. And there's Chiodi. So Chiodi in touch. This is round 11 then, the penultimate round of the 125 series. The last round, well, if these two go into the last round almost even on points, that's got to be a sellout. Davy Strybus, number 4, just gone through. There, Jorgensen, number 40. 61 there, Darrell Atkins makes his return to Grand Prix action after that very nasty car accident he had at the end of last year. But Paul Malin, the British rider, leads here in Indonesia in Heat 2. Number 68 on the bike, it's a Yamaha, the winner of the British overall result. What more can any rider want than to win his home Grand Prix? Malin did it. Second place, Pouzar. That's Bartolini on the inside. Tortelli with that group. Now, where's Chiodi? There's Camerlengo. There's Chiodi. There's Button. We're looking back down the pack for the rest, but here is the Brit who leads. Paul Malin it is, number 68. Beginning to pull a small gap. Tortelli's gone up to 2nd, then Pouzar relegated to 3rd, then Bartolini in 4th. And that's Chiodi then 5th. Behind Chiodi it's Jimmy Button. And there's Eric Camerlengo. But there's no stopping this young man. He's on a high at the moment, but Tortelli, I think, has other ideas about who's going to win this race because he's on Malin. Pouzar goes through, still there with Bartolini behind him. We're looking back for Chiodi, and there he is, still in 5th position. Through the jumps they come, and the lead has changed. It is the French youngster, Sebastian Tortelli, that has taken the lead from the Brit, Paul Malin. He hangs on to 2nd. Looking back for 3rd, on cue, there he is, Xandro Pouzar. And we can't say championship leader because if Chiodi finishes in 5th, even if Pouzar finishes 3rd, Chiodi will still lead the championship. There is Chiodi, up behind Button. Can he get past the American for those extra points? Tortelli comes around the berm, heads up towards the finish area. Sebastian Tortelli, chased by this man, the British rider Paul Malin. Then it's 3rd for Alessandro Pouzar, number 77. Number 10, Max Bartolini in 4th, fairly comfortable at the moment, under no challenge from anyone. Chiodi behind him, 5th then for the new, now current championship leader. And the checkered flag then goes out for the young Frenchman, Sebastian Tortelli. He's happy with that. 2nd for Paul Malin. That's a good result for him. Pouzar comes in 3rd. Valuable points for the former championship leader. Well, a double-header win there. The first one ever for this young man, the 16-year-old Sebastian Tortelli.